Yes, as you said, it is an important step. It is probably only the beginning because there will be more steps to follow. But I would say one can welcome this moment, even if it is painful for all, mainly for the victims, of course, because it is also a sign of courage that the church leadership in this country has had to face the reality. This has happened in all the countries where we have had such reports, and we have listened to victims and their suffering. In all countries, more people have come forward over time, so this wouldn't be surprising if it happens also here. But we know we should not be scared of that. We should welcome that. We should work so that people are really welcomed in our midst, that they are listened to, and that they receive what they need most, which is accompaniment and an open ear and an open heart. Yeah, as I said, listen, and listen with the heart, not just because you have to do it or for a short period. And it is also quite a challenge if one listens to victims. Sometimes that is not done with listening once. People can come back and want to continue and discover new things among themselves, and it can be quite challenging to continue also over time, as I experience in my work, that some victims need more attention and want more interaction. Others, with one sharing once a time, that's done, but not with others. So that is something that needs to be decided and needs to be implemented according to the wishes and to expectations of the victims. Yeah, but what we have seen is that sometimes laity has the same difficulties to acknowledge that abuse has happened in the church. And I think honestly this is a very normal and human reaction, because nobody wants to confront oneself with such a terrible crime, which is the sexual abuse of minors, or the psychological or the spiritual abuse, because abusing a minor is something very, very dark and very difficult to accept. So we
not only in church, of course.
Not only in the church, as we see in all countries, where also the World Health Organization talks about 20% of all female population and about 10% of all male population in any country in this world that undergoes sexual harassment or abuse. And that is only partly in the institutions like schools or sports or others. It is very often in the family, and that is where we need to look very closely to, and where the church can also be of help to stabilize families. But anyway, the next step is really for the church to acknowledge that this is part and parcel of the history and the present of the church, and that we need to do whatever we can so that abuse doesn't happen, which doesn't mean it will go away, because it will never go away. This is one of the, let me say, the false expectations that people have. This is not going to happen. We are human beings, inside the church, outside the church, and evil deeds, crimes, and criminals will always be with us. So, but what we can do is to do whatever is in our reach, with our competences, with our resources, to do whatever can be done so that no abuse happens. But then, if it happens, we need to follow through with the victims.
Thank you, Father Zollner.
Thank you.